should hit and run, but they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. Nobody knows but us, how we roll, how we roll. Nobody knows what we got but us, but us. Let them keep talking, let them believe that they know, 'cause they don't, no they don't, no they don't. Let them believe that.
In this video today, we're gonna talk about self-respect because it's been a reoccurring topic on my channel and you guys are loving it, okay? We're gonna talk about cold approach, we're gonna talk about self-respect, and we're gonna talk about the other side of the game as I'm walking through the beautiful Barcelona. I'm standing here in the middle of Plaza Catalunya, which is actually the middle of the city center here. I'll show you guys a little bit of a B-roll as we go through the video. But, you know, it's just another day, you know? Another day on the street, another day on the grind, you know what I'm saying? And so here's the thing. There's so many videos, there's so much talking about confidence, about charm, about charisma, about putting yourself out there. And I could not imagine a life where I didn't study this and when I didn't work on this, okay? Why would you not want to be charming? Why would you not want to be charismatic? Why would you not want to put yourself out there and have a great fucking time while you're here on earth? So there's a lot of videos about that. There's a lot of videos about, you know, becoming interesting, having interesting stories, flirting, touching, eye contact. I've made lots of videos about that. Other content creators have made lots of videos about that. So in 2025, maybe we can just say you need to be confident, you need to be charming, you need to be charismatic, and you need to know how to put yourself out there and talk to women and do it in a nice and cool and interesting way, okay? Case closed. But what about the other side? What about the grimy reality of the street? What about the grimy reality of cold approach? What about women's behavior? What about women's negative behavior? Why does nobody talk about that? And this is what we're gonna talk about in today's video. So here's the thing. A lot of guys, I keep saying this, but I think it is a very important thing for me to say. A lot of guys think, just because I'm a dating coach and just because I spend a lot of time approaching women, putting myself out there, texting women, calling women, setting up dates, also have a girlfriend, I manage my girlfriend. Just because I'm putting myself out there, a lot of guys think I'm tolerating bullshit. And a lot of guys think that this is the core of what I'm trying to say. A lot of guys are like, okay, so you put in your mind, right? I'm gonna go out and meet women. So you put in your mind, well, if my goal is to get laid, if my goal is to get the girl, no matter what, I have to reach the goal, right? It's like, okay, let's say you want to do 100 push-ups, right? You set the goal, I'm going to do 100 push-ups. Now, is your feelings accounted into that? Not really. Maybe you do 20 push-ups, you're tired. You want to quit. Maybe that's how you feel, right? But you take a 2-minute break, you do another 20. You take a 5-10 minute break, you do another 10. Because you set the goal of doing 100. You see what I mean? It's a very masculine thing. Like you say you're going to do something and you go and do it, right? You say you're gonna start something and you try to finish it, right? But when it comes to women, it's not a hard skill. There's a difference between hard skills and soft skills. Meeting a woman is supposed to be enjoyable. It's not supposed to be this thing that you're grinding, okay? Many times when I make my YouTube videos, maybe I don't feel like making a YouTube video, but it's a part of my work. I do it, right? This morning, I had breath work. I didn't feel like doing the breath work, but I did it and it made me feel great, okay? In a lot of areas of my life, I go against my feelings. In a lot of areas of my life, I don't pay attention to what my mind, my emotions, my body is saying. But when it comes to women, and this is the key important part, you can't have this mindset of, I'm gonna get this chick no matter what. I'm gonna get laid no matter what. I'm gonna push through, you know, no matter what she does. Like, oh, she's disrespectful, she's behaving incorrectly. Because here's the thing, when you go on the street, this is what nobody talks about. When you go on the street, you do cold approach, right? Right here on the street. Or you go to the beach, you go to a cafe, you go to, fuck guys, I should have brought my sunglasses today. It is very bright here, okay? So you're on the street, right? You go to the bars, you're approaching women cold. So my channel is about cold approach. For me, I look at every single individual woman as an individual of like, is she pleasant to be around? Is she respectful? Is she adding value to the moment, right? Because it's a moment, right? I'm approaching a woman, it's a moment, right? Is she adding value to the moment? You know, because when you go and do cold approach, you can get in a lot of weird situations. You know? You can meet a girl and say, hey, let's go have a drink right now. And she goes, okay, cool. Then you sit down and she says, just so you know, I have a boyfriend. And you go think to yourself, why the fuck didn't you tell me that when I asked you to come for a drink? Because the real truth is, she doesn't give a fuck about you, bro. You're just a random guy from the street. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of a lot of things right now because I'm super blissed out for my breathwork session this morning. But I know for a fact that I have been to thousands and thousands and thousands of disrespectful things from women when I'm out doing cold approach. And when you get into that space where a woman is, you know, acting weird, behaving inappropriately, not behaving well towards you, or even simple things like you meet a girl in a bar and you make out with her, and then she has to go back to her friends because they're gonna leave the bar and go somewhere else, and she's like, I want to meet you tomorrow. We should cook something at your house tomorrow. And the next day you text her and she don't reply. The answer isn't to double down. The answer isn't like the same analogy. You know, I'm gonna do my 100 push-ups no matter what. No, it's not supposed to be like some grindy thing that you're doing. You're not grinding, bro. You grind in your business, sure. You grind in the gym, sure. You grind in many areas of your life. You start something and you work hard to complete it. But when it comes to women, it's not like that, bro. You always have to remember that they have to add something to the moment. They have to add something to your life. Joy, bliss, happiness. Because what's gonna happen is, if you meet a woman and you have this attitude of, I'm gonna close her no matter what, and you can't walk away from situations, your self-esteem is gonna tank. It's gonna go down and down and down and down and down. And the more your self-esteem goes down, the worse your approaching gets. You get shit at approaching. You get bad at flirting. You get bad at, your brain gets bad at recognizing opportunities. It just fucks you. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if you let women fuck you over, you actually fuck yourself over. You know what I'm saying? So you do yourself a very big disservice, my friends. And so, self-esteem, confidence, self-confidence, they won't care about you, bro. Like, if you meet random women and you're inviting random women to hang out with you, and you're buying drinks for random women, and you're spending time with random women, they're never gonna care about you. You know, you gotta care about yourself. So it's like, as a man, you have to live this dual life of, yes, you need to be charming, yes, you need to be charismatic, yes, you need to put yourself out there, yes, you need to be like a fucking cool and interesting guy with an interesting life, because why the fuck not? Why would you want to wake up and live a boring life from Monday to Sunday? You know what I mean? So you go out, create stories, do fun stuff, travel, approach hot chicks, hit on all the beautiful girls. Yes, yes, yes. But I told you it's a dual life, right? So like, think about it as two sides of the coin. The other side of the coin is the self-respect part. So you gotta trust your gut. You gotta trust your instincts. If I'm with a woman and my instinct or my gut is, or there's something like, something's off about this woman, or she's like belittling me, or she's talking down on me, or she's shit testing me every minute, you know, or she's asking me just like impossible questions, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and the situation for me, it's not fun anymore. I just bounce. I just leave. I don't care if I have spent, I don't know, $50 on drinks on both of us, and then the situation is weird. I just leave, because there's something called opportunity cost, okay? And there's something called the sunk cost fallacy. So let's talk about opportunity cost, okay? Every single time you're doing something, you're missing out on something else, okay? So by me making this video, I'm missing out on maybe approaching this girl walking over there, so some chick walking over there, right? So I miss out on opening her, right? Very simple example. Every time you do something, you're missing out on something else. Then there's the sunk cost fallacy. When something's going wrong in life, you double down, and it goes more wrong, and you double down, and it goes more wrong, and you triple down. And what happens is you're losing more by staying in the situation than you're actually gaining, okay? And so I always think about these two concepts, okay? And for me, I try to figure out every single time I hang out with a woman, is this woman on some bullshit? Is she adding to my life? Is this interaction moving towards sex and intimacy? Is she pleasant to be around? I ask myself these questions inside the conversation, like inside my own brain, right? As I'm talking to her and smiling. Even in something simple as touching, you know? If I'm with a chick and I'm like, you know, touching her hand, you know, putting my hand on her thigh when we're on a date or something, if she's not like enjoying it, or if it's not looking like, oh, this is, you know, this is beneficial to both of us and we're like climbing up the romantic ladder, I've already planned my exit strategy. I'm like, okay, in the next 20 minutes, I'm gonna leave, because there's another girl around the corner that will like me touching her. There's another girl around the corner that will like my corny and funny and weird jokes and whatever it is I got going on. Recently, I started telling girls that I have a girlfriend. I usually never would tell girls I have a girlfriend. I usually always would keep it to myself and do my thing, you know? Jayden do his thing. But recently, like a couple weeks, I've just been like, yo, just mid-conversation, yeah, I'm seeing someone, you know? And then like, if they don't like it, they leave, you know? Or if they stay, they're more interested. It's like a filter, because I'm tired. You come to my house, there's pictures of my girlfriend, you're gonna find out anyway, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So anyway, bro, you know, I have another friend of mine, he also has a girlfriend of 5 years. Every time a chick comes to his house, he like hides all the pictures and shit. Bro, I'm tired of all that shit, you know? So I tell girls, I'm like, yo, I got a girlfriend. Yeah, I'm seeing someone, you know? And it helps, because either they leave me alone, or they're more interested, you know what I mean? That's the kind of situation that you want to create. You don't want to be in the middle where nothing is happening. And a lot of you guys are tolerating that because the girl is beautiful, but she ain't adding nothing to your life. So it's two things. You go out, you approach. Number one, you put yourself out there. You go beyond your comfort zone, but at the same time, you have respect for yourself, okay? And a lot of guys have trouble managing both, okay? A lot of trouble managing both, because they feel like they don't respect themselves because they're putting themselves out there, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but they're putting themselves out there. So because I started the conversation, because I'm the one initiating, I now have to tolerate some bullshit. It's not true. It's not true. You never tolerate bullshit, because if a woman can't respect you, she won't sleep with you. So you're always gonna be in a double bind, my friends, okay? So you gotta hang out with her, and as soon as things ain't going your way, see you later, adios. Now, if you're a guy who's struggling with this, if you're a guy who wants to be respected by women, if you're a guy who wants to get laid more, if you're a guy who's doing 5 to 10 approaches per day or per week and you ain't getting nowhere, I help guys just like you. Send me a DM on Instagram, okay? I got a private account, so you gotta make sure to follow me, all right? Because I recently made my account private. I prefer that, you know? I keep all my content private on Instagram, and it means I can make crazy fun content for you guys. and at the same time I see who's really invested in what I'm doing. So if you need help, follow me and send me a DM saying help. Simple as that, on my Instagram, okay? At JRaith, pop up right here, okay? If you're a guy this summer who wants to get laid, put yourself out there, you want to win at life, you want to feel powerful, you want to feel strong, you want to be successful with women, send me that DM. And as always, if you like this video, like this goddamn video, guys, comment down below, subscribe, and I see y'all, my brothers, in that next video. Peace.